For 2 days now, Polina has barely spoken a word to me. Whenever our paths cross, she meets me with a cold, deliberate indifference. An indifference so sharp it feels like an insult delivered with precision. She hides nothing. Not her disdain, not her irritation, not the fact that she considers me so insignificant she does not even bother to mask her contempt. And yet, despite all of this, she keeps me close. She needs me, though for what reason she refuses to say. It is as if she is saving me, holding me in reserve for a task she cannot bring herself to name aloud. She knows I love her, perhaps too much. She allows my confessions, listens to them without a flicker of emotion, as though what I feel and what she feels weigh exactly the same. Nothing. Once, she used to speak to me about her affairs. Never honestly, but at least she spoke. Now she shares only enough to use me when it suits her. Sometimes she tells me fragments of her troubles only so she can send me on some errand, some mission she finds distasteful. And yet when I sense her fear, her anxiety, when I see how deeply some unseen worry torments her, she gives me nothing, no reassurance, no kindness. I am a servant to her needs, nothing more. Still, when she gives me these harsh tasks, dangerous, humiliating, or simply exhausting, I obey with a kind of foolish devotion. I would rather suffer on her behalf than do nothing at all. And I know she intends to send me to the casino, not out of greed. Polina doesn't care for money itself. No, there is something far more urgent behind her wish. I can hear it in her voice, in the trembling edge she tries to hide. There is a plan here, a fear, an event she is preparing for, and I am somehow a part of it. Meanwhile, the atmosphere in the household grows heavier by the hour. Everyone is waiting for an answer to a telegram sent 4 days ago to St. Petersburg. News about grandmother. The general is anxious, the Frenchman even more so. They walk about with restless energy, whisper in corners, and argue behind half-closed doors. That Frenchman, bold, arrogant, and unbearably confident, has all but taken command of the family. And no wonder. Last year he lent the general 30,000 rubles, rescuing him from ruin after he lost his position. Ever since, the general has been in the man's pocket, no more than a puppet tied to the strings of debt and desperation. But now the true center of gravity is Mademoiselle Blanche. She has become the axis around which all their hopes and fears revolve. A striking woman, tall, dark-haired, with a beauty sharpened by something dangerous. Her elegance is flawless, yet something about her inspires dread rather than admiration. Her laughter is bold, her posture commanding, and her eyes always watchful, calculating. She knows the general adores her. She knows he is 60, foolish, and hopelessly in love. She plays her role with skill. Her mother hovers at her side, and the Frenchman behaves like both partner and accomplice. And what do they all wait for? One thing only, confirmation that grandmother is dead. If she lives, Blanche will vanish. If she has died, and left the general an inheritance, Blanche will stay, perhaps even marry him. Their entire world hangs on the silence of one telegram. Amid this tangle of schemes moves Mr. Astley, quiet, awkward, endlessly courteous. I now know with certainty that he loves Polina. He tries to hide it, but his silence reveals everything. He follows us at a distance, never intruding, always observing. On every walk, every outing, every visit to the casino, he is there. On a nearby bench, on a narrow path in the forest, standing behind a pillar during concerts. His presence is constant yet gentle, as if he hopes simply to be near her without being seen. This morning he approached me, nervously, almost stammering, and asked if Polina liked flowers. When I told him I did not know, he seemed shocked, then strangely pleased, as though discovering something useful, something private. A moment later he nodded, whispered a soft, "Ah," and walked away more satisfied than before. And as all of this unfolds, Blanche's scheming, the general's desperation, the Frenchman's arrogance, the unanswered telegram. Here I remain, torn between disgust for everything happening around me and the one force that binds me here. Polina, I know that staying is foolish. I know that following her, watching her, suffering for her is beneath me. But I cannot leave. Not while she is near. Not while she looks past me with such coldness that it hurts more than any kindness ever could. I could abandon all of this today, walk out and never return. But how could I turn my back on her? How could I stop searching, questioning, watching, hoping? Even if what I am doing is nothing more than a kind of quiet, pathetic espionage, I cannot bring myself to stop. Because in the middle of all this chaos, this house filled with secrets, debts, schemes, and desires, only one truth remains unshakable. I cannot leave Polina. Not now. Perhaps not ever.